Have you ever tried to explain to a client the pages that are going to be on their website, only to watch their eyes glaze over while you rattle off the list? Or worse yet, have you gotten into a project and had a client say, wait, weren't we going to include a resources section when you never actually agreed to that? Yeah, me too, and it's exhausting. And that's why we always create a visual sitemap for our clients and have them validate it. They're not really approving it. It's not carved in granite, but we have them validate that we're headed in the right direction in terms of here are all the pages that we need in order to meet your business requirements. In the last video in this series, I showed you how to quickly create a project brief from your pre-proposal meeting transcript. But this is where it really starts to get fun, y'all. We're going to take that project brief and turn it into a visual sitemap that your client and you can actually understand at a glance. But here's the kicker. Not all AI tools are created equal for this task, or for any task, really. I tried ChatGPT, and I tried a bunch of those external fancy sitemap generators, and most of them turned out something that looked like a third grader's crayon drawing. Then I tried Claude AI, and folks, Claude once again knocked it out of the park. Hey, I just wanted to pop in with a quick reminder. The WP Project Managers Academy materials are being updated and modernized, and we're creating a new course on project planning with AI, where you can do deeper planning, create more precise estimates, and it'll make managing website development projects fun again. We're rolling it out bit by bit. Much of it's free on our website and here on YouTube. So if you want to make sure that you don't miss anything, you can either hit the subscribe button or you can sign up for our newsletter over on our website. The link is below this video. And each week we send out a newsletter with a little bit of WordPress news, a little bit of industry news, a lot of AI news, some PM for profit tips and tricks, as well as an invitation to our Friday chat on Zoom. That's where you can ask questions or just decompress after a long week with fellow website folks. Okay, let's get back to the training. I'm going to show you exactly why Claude is hands down the best tool for creating a visual sitemap from your project brief. You'll see an actual side-by-side comparison, the prompts that worked, the prompts that didn't work, and by the end, you'll have a process that saves you hours of drawing boxes in PowerPoint or whatever other torture tool you have been using, if you've been using one at all. Remember, the reason that we have the client validate the project brief and the visual sitemap is so that you will know that you've gotten all the detail right and can provide a more precise estimate, as well as you're already stopping scope creep before you even begin. So let's get to it. So this is the project brief that Claude outputs, and as you should do with any AI output, I needed to edit it. It also brought up some things that I needed to clarify with Professor Lyons. Now, this project is to create a new professional online course platform to deliver the course that the professor had already built in a DIY platform. So the first thing I changed as we scroll down here under project goals, I needed to call Dr. Lyons and ask him, under streamlined payment processing, did he want to use multiple pricing options or did he only want to do one with a credit card via Stripe? And he indicated he only wanted to stay with Stripe. So that's why we made this change here. Under number 6, I already know that we're not going to guarantee course growth from 180 to 500 plus students, but we will establish a plan for course growth as part of this project. Then as we scroll down, it got almost all of the rest of this right until we get to course delivery. I called Dr. Lyons and asked him how he wanted to do course support, if he wanted to do that through Q&A in the course itself, or did he want to do that via email? I gave him the pros and cons of both, and he decided to do it via email. And then as we scroll down, I marked out or PayPal Business under payment and access because we're going to integrate with Stripe only. Under content management, I called Dr. Lyons and discussed the different ways to protect video. And he already has a Vimeo account, so that's why we marked out Wistia and we're going strictly with Vimeo. And then as I scroll down further, I wanted to make clear, I made this change, that the existing professional photos from the university press release would be used, but that organic chemistry images need to be provided by the client. because it typically includes a whole lot of line drawings showing different chemistry elements, and he'll have to provide those. And then as we move down, all of this looked just about right until we got to technical requirement, and I needed to make sure to indicate that we've got one plugin that's going to handle the student login, the payment integration with Stripe, the protected content, the progress tracking, and the interactive quizzes, and that plugin is LearnDash. And then under DNS configuration, we don't do email and we don't transfer email. So we only change this to DNS configuration. And then down here, where Claude just inadvertently put in video delivery optimization for various internet speeds, we're not going to address that, mainly because we don't know how and we don't know really even what that means. And then under ongoing maintenance, we require all of our clients to have ongoing maintenance with us before we start the project. So that is required. Under success criteria, that the site handles growth without performance issues. We're not going to specify or guarantee a certain number here. And then under project approach, I replace this entire thing with the project management for profit methodology, the phases that we use there, which is the first one, project definition and discovery, design and preparation, development and testing, deployment and training, and then post-launch would be maintenance and ongoing support. Under next steps, I wanted to make this more directed at the client and not so much in the third person. So all I did was change, you review and validate this project brief. We agree on a visual sitemap. We do a detailed proposal with a pricing breakdown, a proposal walkthrough meeting, which would be next Thursday at 1 p.m. I should put next Thursday. I'm using track changes in Word so that you can see where I've changed things. And then we do the contract signing and project kickoff. We've covered risk mitigation, and then this gives the client the instructions here. So now I've accepted all of the changes in the document, and I sent this over to Dr. Lyons to ensure that I got all the details right. And surprisingly, he had absolutely no changes or comments on this. He did have a couple of questions, which I answered, but he believes that this is accurate for everything that we know right now. So now I'm going to take this project brief, I'm going to put it into AI and ask for a visual sitemap. And I'm going to show you why Claude is way better for this than ChatGPT or other external tools. So first, I accepted all those changes in the Word doc to get a clean copy, and then I tried ChatGPT and Claude to create the visual sitemap, and I'm going to show you why Claude is a better option for this. So I put the exact same prompt in both. First, in ChatGPT, I have attached a project brief for a website rebuild project. Please use this information to provide a hierarchical sitemap for the site, noting that LearnDash will be used to create certain pages automatically that satisfy the business requirements, such as the student dashboard, checkout page, etc. Please also include those pages in this sitemap. So the first thing that ChatGPT gave me was a bulleted list of what would be included under the main navigation, the student area, the footer, and the system utility not in the navigation. Not really usable for what I want to do. So I asked, can you create a graphic image that is typically used to visualize a sitemap similar to an org chart that represents this sitemap? So it gave me this gobbledygook version of the sitemap. It might be correct, but I can't read it. It asked me if I wanted it to split it into two images. So I thought, well, if it splits it into two images, the student area and the public area, maybe it would look better. So I said, yeah, split it into two. So let me show you what these PNG files look like. So it didn't do any better and made these skinny little boxes, and then you can't read any of this. So that is completely unusable. The other one looks exactly the same. So that's when I moved over to Claude and did exactly the same thing. I attached the project brief and gave it the exact same prompt. And again, I got a hierarchical list with bullets that does describe the page, but it's hard for clients to visualize something like this, to really understand how this is going to look. So I asked Claude, can you create a graphic image that is typically used to visualize a sitemap similar to an org chart that represents this sitemap? Now, this is where you're going to want to skip this prompt. Don't use this. You'll see why in just a moment. So I said that, and this is what I got back. It's not really much different than the bulleted list, right? So it just gave me this all disjointed in a linear version, not exactly what I was looking for. So then I went out to the web and I just captured a random image of what a sitemap actually looks like. Let's see if I can see that. So I copied this image, pasted it in here, and I said, thank you, but that is not exactly what I was looking for. Please create a sitemap for this site using the attached as an example of the output I am expecting. So this time I got exactly what I was looking for, except for one thing. It's done in HTML and it's way big, so I can't really see. It looks like it's close to being right, but I want to see it in a regular size so I can figure out all at once whether this is correct or not. So I know I can put this in my browser and show it there, but I really wanted to create an image. So I asked, how do I go about creating a client-facing document with this in it? How do I convert the HTML to an image I can use? It gave me 4 options. The first one I tried was, let me create a Word document for you and embed the image. This is what it looked like. It didn't really come out as an image at all. So I said, that didn't work. Please convert HTML to PNG as described in option 4 above. So it gave me a really good image. But the one thing I forgot to tell Claude is that the contact form and legal pages are accessed from the footer menu. So then I asked it to modify it, and this is what I got. Practically perfect. So let's look at that a little more closely. Okay, so this is exactly right. Now, normally you'd put the about at the end, but because this is a course by this professor, they're going to want to know the about stuff, about the course and about the page. But then we've got the course landing page, the blog, and the student login as the main menu options. And then under the student dashboard, this is laid out exactly correctly. So I don't have to make any changes to this. But if you did, you would just go back to Claude and ask them to redo it. And you can see now they've moved the footer, the contact, and the legal pages down at the bottom, as well as the system page, the 404 page not found. So I will take this visual sitemap and I will walk through it with the client to make sure that these are the correct pages that they want on the website. And that's why Claude is a much better option for creating a visual sitemap from a project brief than ChatGPT is. And I tried a ton of external AI tools that claim to be able to do this. And all in all, Claude did the very best job. If I could be an affiliate for Claude, I certainly would. Claude is my new best friend. So you saw that I had to go through several iterations of this to get what I was looking for. But if I were going to redo this prompt today, this is what it would look like. The first thing I would do is attach the project brief and a sample graphic of the output I'm looking for in that hierarchical, almost like an org chart format. And then I would change my prompt like this. I've attached a project brief for the website rebuild project. Please use this information to provide a visual sitemap for the site using the attached example as the kind of output I am seeking as a PNG image. Please note that the LearnDash plugin will create certain pages automatically, blah, blah, blah. I had to add a word such as the student dashboard, etc. Please also include those pages in the sitemap. And then I added the footer menu will include the contact form menu option as well as the legal pages. It's really important to call out what should be in the footer or else it's going to try to put those pages into the regular navigation. So that's the easy peasy, time-saving way to create your visual sitemap from your project brief and a sample graphic. So wasn't that a lot more fun than doing it manually? Part of our mission at Project Management for Profit is to make project planning fun again, and AI is a big part of that. So we created a beautiful client-ready visual sitemap in minutes instead of hours. And remember, the real magic and the real fun is that once you have this visual sitemap locked down with your client, and when I say locked down, once again, we're not getting it approved, we're just getting it validated because it's likely to change going forward. But you've got a good foundation for everything else in your project planning. Your client can see exactly what they're getting, which means fewer surprises down the road. Now, in the next video in this series, I'm going to show you how to take this visual sitemap and your project brief and start estimating the content that's going to be required for all the pages that you've identified so far. How many images, how much text content are you going to need? All of that stuff usually takes a really long time to figure out, but we're going to do it easily and quickly with AI. So if you want to know when that next video drops, be sure to subscribe to the channel. And if you got some value out of this one, I sure would appreciate it if you give that like button a little gentle tap. And I'd also like to invite you to sign up for our newsletter, because you'll not only get notified of the videos that drop, but each week you'll get some industry news, some WordPress news, a lot of AI news, and some PM for profit tips and tricks that will help you in your day-to-day life, managing your agency and managing your projects. So go create some sitemaps and impress your clients, and I'll see you in the next video.